Welcome to Boekenhoutskloof. We're here in the southern corner of the Franschhoek Valley. Behind us, the Franschhoek Mountains. While Franschhoek has more than 50 independent wine producers, we only have 1% of the national planting. This area is predominantly known for export plums, and luckily in that tiny vineyard area, we have a lot of really old vines. Obviously the oldest Semillon blocks in the country. We have there's some old Cinsault, there's some old Muscat lower down in the valley, and it's an important source for this great initiative, the Old Wine Project. We're now in our new barrel shay at Boekenhoutskloof, connected to the fermentation cellar by a 68-meter underground tunnel. So we're currently about 5 or 6 meters underground, and we have different formats of oak. For us, stylistically, with the different wines, we try to do different things. So these are 2,500 litre. Their lifespan is indefinite as long as we keep the wood healthy with a healthy regime, and that includes temperature control. Also, we think a first in South Africa. What we're doing is, once the external temperature outside of the cellar drops below the ambient inside, we start displacing the air. So we are on a rotation that at least twice a day we displace the full volume of air in the cellar through the vents and back outside. So that once it's colder outside than it is in here, we suck the air through, and that creates a much more healthy environment for our wines. So Syrah, always in large wood. With Cabernet, we use smaller format, historical barrique. These are all, as you can see, Chateau barriques, so the absolute top grade of barrel, longer seasoning, thinner staves. And with Cabernet, depending on the cuvée, with our Stellenbosch Cabernet, we only use 60% new barrique. But with the Franschhoek Cabernet, the wine that I first produced in 1996, we use 100% new barrique. And this is quite a unique system. It's called Oxoline. It's out of Bordeaux. And each barrel, for its productive lifespan, remains in place. So we fill the barrel, we rack it, we clean it without it ever leaving the system of rollers. And you'll notice that they're all rotated at about 30 degrees. So that means they've been topped, malolactic's complete, we tighten the bung and we leave them. That eliminates oxidation through the bunghole, as well as we get less evaporation. Historically, our reputation has been really for Syrah and Syrah-based wines, yet our Franschhoek Cabernet is among the most decorated red wines in the history of the Platter Guide, for example. It's a single vineyard, although in 1999 I introduced a bit of Cabernet Franc for the first time. For various reasons. One, to lift the acidity. We don't acidified Boekenhoutskloof, so that little bit of acidity from the Cabernet Franc helps with the ageability of the wine. Also adds a nice aromatic to the wine. But with our purchase in 2009 of the Helderberg winery, we thought it prudent to introduce a Stellenbosch Cabernet. The Helderberg really is to Stellenbosch what the Medoc is to Bordeaux. It's Cabernet country, after all. And we decided to, over a few years, we experimented with various sites on the Helderberg. We're now working with 4 vineyards, and from the 2014, not a very celebrated vintage, but we were very happy with the product. From 2014, we introduced a Boekenhoutskloof Stellenbosch Cabernet to the range, and that's from 4 sites on the mountain. Less élevage, so shorter aging, and also only 60% new oak as opposed to the 100% of the Franschhoek Cabernet. And this is a more traditional claret-like approach. Again, as with the Franschhoek Cabernet, we introduce a little bit of Cabernet Franc, lifting the fruit profile, the aromatic, and again the acidity.